is teaching the cue with an object that your dog is comfortable with in an environment that your dog is comfortable in. So Wish is very comfortable with this little cone here that we do training with, so I'll show you how to begin the exercise with this. Basically, you just say to your dog, go check it out, and you point at the object, good. And then as they walk towards it, good. You can mark them and reinforce them with a treat. Now, I don't suggest using the clicker for this exercise. I've used it in the past. It doesn't really matter if your dog doesn't get excited by the clicker, but if you have a dog that gets very excited when they hear the clicker and think it's time to work and offer behavior to you, then I suggest using something that sounds a little bit more calming that you might use for calmer behaviors like a settle. So my calm marker is good. Wish. So you can walk your dog away from the object and then say, go check it out. Good. Now, when you're out in the environment and your dog sees a street sign or a weird bag flapping in the breeze that's far away and you have your dog on leash, if you say check it out and your dog runs towards that object, as they're running towards the object, they might freak themselves out and start barking. So I suggest if the object is far away from you, you can say go check it out. You can reinforce your dog as you get towards the object rather than only when you get to the object. Are you ready? So I say go check it out, good. Check it out, good. As I approach the object, check it out, good. And then give the dog some time to check the object out and learn that it's an okay object. Hey, Wishy. Once your dog is successful learning with one item, you can try a different item they've never seen before, but that's been in your house. This is a little gift bag. Pretty interesting. So I'm going to put it down here. Fish. Get organized. Check it out. Good. Good. Step 2. Now you're going to use objects that your dog's never seen before in an environment that your dog is comfortable with. Halloween is just around the corner, so we're using Halloween decorations. I'm going to show my dog that I'm comfortable with the decoration by bringing it out and putting it down, rather than at this second step, her just coming around the corner and seeing it in her living room. I want to make sure that that cue, check it out, is a confidence building cue and isn't immediately associated with scary things. So you really want to use that cue in a way in your beginning training that your dog is feeling confident every step of the way. If you say go check it out and it scares your dog every time you say it, then you know that you're doing the training wrong, because what it should do is build your dog's confidence to want to go near the object and check it out, not be a predictor that something scary is about to happen. Okay? So I'm going to put this pumpkin down here. Wish me. Good. And say, go check it out. Good. Now, say your dog doesn't want to check something out or backs away from it, you can simply pick up the object and hold it and back away from your dog. And if your dog follows you, good. Whenever you're working with something that your dog is worried about, you don't want to put the object into your dog's space. You want your dog to come into the space of the object. So with the go check it out cue, they're choosing to go and check out the object rather than it be put right into their space, which can be too much for some dogs. And they learn to just be more scared of the object. So it's all based on the concept of choice. Hey, Wishy, ready? You want to go check it out? Good. Then I can also move the object away from her so she keeps having to approach it. That's really going to help build her confidence. I suggest if your dog is very comfortable with the object, you can feed the treat off of the object or near the object like this. Go check it out. Good. But if your dog is worried about the object still and barely had the confidence to go over to it, I suggest saying, check it out. Good. And then feeding your dog away from the object so they can relax as they eat their treat and they don't feel conflicted that they have to take the treat off of the scary object. So if you see your dog leaving their back feet behind near the object, that means, Give the dog some space from it to enjoy the reinforcement. Hey, Wish. I don't suggest you use this cue at first with objects that move and suddenly make a noise, because what can happen is you can cue your dog, go check it out, they're feeling really confident, they get to the object, and then suddenly it scares them. So I suggest in those circumstances, you stay at a distance where your dog can see the object, and you can feed your dog for looking and observing and listening to the object at a comfortable distance, rather than sending them into an area where it's likely that they're going to get freaked out. So this Halloween decoration actually does move and make a noise, but I'm not going to send the dogs right up to it and then have them find out that this happens. I'm going to show them this happens, and when I see them being comfortable with the noise and movement, then I can add the cue, check it out. Good. Good job. Now that they're comfortable with that, I can make the thing make a noise and then cue Ted to check it out. Go check it out. Good.
Step 3. After building your cue for a couple of weeks, put the objects that you've worked on in unexpected locations and practice your cue. It's normal for some dogs to startle when they first see the object in a new location. This game will help dogs learn that just because something is unusual in the environment, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something to worry about. Step 4. Real-world applications. If your dog was successful with Step 3, you can start to use this cue while out and about on a walk. At first, choose objects that you're confident your dog will have success with. If you think something might be too much for your dog, simply avoid it and then think of a way to set up training sessions that simulate the same distraction.